Today, we saddle up and ride into the rugged, untamed frontier with Sackett by Louis L'Amour. It's a tale of grit, loyalty, and the unbreakable spirit of the American West. So grab your hat, mount your horse, let's dive right in to the world of William Tell Sackett. Let's go. Welcome back to Kevin's Whole Reads with the sometimes we're going with it. Welcome. You're getting 2 book reviews today because I ripped through book number 8 in the Sackett series titled Sackett. So that is Lando Sackett, book 7 and book 8 this week. They are short ones, quick reads, fun reads, and I got through both of them this week. So I'm giving you 2 book reviews. Got Lando came out this morning. If you haven't checked that out, you should. And this is book 8, Sackett. This was published in 1961. It is book 8 in the Sackett series. I'm reading this because of the wagon train. This is book 7 and 8 were our scheduled reading for January. So I'm caught up and I'm glad I read this because this was another great entry in the Sackett series. Pretty good stuff so far. Definitely a return to form from Daybreakers, which has ties to this, and we're going to talk about that. But first, let's talk about the summary of this book. Sackett introduces us to William Tell Sackett, a rugged, no-nonsense frontiersman who's traveling westward in search of a better life. After uncovering a vein of gold in the hills, Tell, as he's like to be called, dreams of building a future, but trouble finds him quickly. A group of ruthless outlaws and claim jumpers, the Bigelows, are eager to steal his gold and collect retribution for Tell and one of the Bigelows having a gunfight. They test his courage, his resourcefulness, and grit. Along the way, Tell also discovers the value of friendship, the burden of family legacy, and his own resilience, and maybe a pretty girl. So let's talk about what I enjoyed in this book. This takes place in the 1870s, specifically 1874, 1875, during the gold rush and height in the West. It's a continuation story, as I mentioned earlier, from Daybreakers. Daybreakers was a good book, but this really, I think, does really well. It's a more centralized story about one of the brothers. William Tell Sackett is one of the brothers of Orrin and Tyrell Sackett, and you get to learn a little bit about them at the beginning of the book. You get to meet Tyrell and Drusilla from Daybreakers, Orrin as well, and Maul, who's down in New Mexico, and you get to see them as Tell makes his way back home and lets them know of his plans to strike out and that he has found some gold and wants to make a go of it and have his own outfit. And so this was really interesting. I enjoyed Tyrell and Ma and Orrin at the beginning and how it kind of dovetails into Daybreakers and Sackett as one kind of sequel, I guess you would call it, for lack of a better word. I thought it was done really well. I haven't seen that again since book 1 and book 2 with Barnabas, and so I thought L'Amour did a very good job with that. I liked Ange, that you meet the girl in this story that you meet about the halfway point, and I liked her character arc. She starts off being kind of standoffish, kind of naive, and then as the story takes place and she is around Tell a little more and things happen, she comes to understand how the West is and how things have to be and accepts it for what it is. Obviously, I really enjoyed Tell as a character. I enjoyed Cap, who was also from the Daybreakers and who strikes off with Tell as they go about their business. And I really like the fact that they're trying to branch out and knowing that people are going to be coming as they're spotting color, as they like to say, in the waters as they're panning for gold. And I liked how Sackett was like, people are going to come, let's lay claim and stake out of town and have people, try to build something. And so I thought it was really interesting. There's also some really good themes, individualism versus resilience, man versus nature, the survival in the wilderness. Definitely some harsh climates come into play. I think folks would really like this if you like action-packed stories. There's a lot here, and there's a lot that transpires, which keeps you turning pages regularly. I consume this in 2 big reads, and over the course of like 24 hours, it was a quick read for me. It's very true, authentic Western, at least in my estimation. I like the fact that you have an adventure story, a gunfight, gold. It's very authentic. You definitely feel like you're part of the setting, even though L'Amour doesn't really go into page after page after page of describing setting. He does a good enough job of dropping little things here and there that just makes it authentic. And I think it has to do with more of the personalities of the characters than it does talking about scenery. And I think that's a testament to how good of a writer he is. There's some great excerpts that I also enjoyed. One was related to the survival. Tell was said, out here, a man couldn't count on anyone but himself. If you wanted to survive, you fought tooth and nail for it. And then another one was around kind of Tell's philosophy. He says, I wasn't looking for trouble, but if trouble came, I'd meet it head on. That was the Sackett way. Now, those were both very indicative of this story and of the Sacketts. In terms of rating, I gave this a 4.2. I liked it a little less than Lando. I thought Lando had a little more to offer in terms of just all the various things. But this is a very good story, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's, again, a quick and enjoyable read. There's a lot of action. There's no fluff. And it has all of the major kind of check marks you look for in a Western. My overall impression, it's another solid entry into the Sackett series. As I mentioned, I ripped through both of these this week very quickly because I enjoyed them both very much. This, again, felt like a great dual novel. It, again, dovetails off of Daybreakers, and I think it does a better job, even though I thought Daybreakers was pretty good. Again, I think this is very, very well written. L'Amour continues to provide dynamite hits, in my opinion, and they're great palate cleansers. So that is my take of Sackett by Louis L'Amour, a 4.2 out of 5. I hope you have a great weekend. It's Friday. I hope you do something great, and I will talk to you all on the next one. Thanks.